I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Today is Sunday, March 15, 2020, the Ides of March. Welcome to LCJ Live. There is so much going on in the world right now. Hopefully you're watching this from the comfort of your own home, staying safe, keeping a distance away from each other, staying healthy. That's the most important thing as you could do, is to stay healthy. But a bunch of new movies did open up in theaters this weekend. This is the final weekend of that for quite a while, and some really interesting box office results. We'll get to that, plus some breaking entertainment news and what's going on with the complete entertainment shutdown right now in both New York and Hollywood, and some recommendations I have for you to watch on streaming while you're home. As always, send in your questions, your comments here on this LCJ Live, all devoted to the coronavirus situation and the impact of that on the entertainment industry. So much going on with that. I want to begin with the box office. And $10.5 million for Disney Pixar's Onward leads the weekend. Yeah, that's right. Your number one movie with just $10.5 million wins the weekend. I was reading BoxOfficePro.com earlier in the week, and I trust them when it comes to box office information. They're a great source. They were predicting $26 million for Onward, and I wrote on Twitter, look, if Onward gets $26 million this weekend, and it gets close to $100 million total, that would be a huge win at this point for Disney and Pixar. And then the momentum really started to change Thursday and Friday, and here we are, going from almost $40 million last weekend to just $10.5 million this weekend. And that number could change. As I just posted on Twitter at LCJ Reviews, that number could change because things could go lower, things could go a little higher. In second this weekend, the new faith-based drama I Still Believe from Lionsgate with $9.5 million. And right behind in third, the Vin Diesel action movie Bloodshot from Sony Columbia with $9.3 million. All three of those movies so close to each other that when the actual results are released tomorrow, there could be a real switch up for which film is the number one movie in America. But does it really matter at this point? People did go to the movies. I did go to the movies. I saw I Still Believe on Wednesday night. There was actually an IMAX, a nationwide preview screening of I Still Believe. And I was one of about 30. And the majority of the people in the room, all women out of this group who went together. There were probably maybe close to 20 of the people in that theater was this group of women who really wanted to see this movie. Probably purchased the tickets a while ago to see I Still Believe. I think a lot of the faith-based audience came out to see it this weekend. This weekend was almost like all right, if you're going to see these movies, go now. That certainly was the case for Onward last weekend with almost $40 million. But when it came to these three new movies, if you really wanted to see them, you went to see them this weekend. So I saw I Still Believe on Wednesday night. Then I came out of the movie and I got the news, as everybody else did, that Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson tested positive for the coronavirus. And that really started the shift in the industry. Even though they're in Australia right now, in quarantine, that began the shift of, oh my gosh, from the entertainment industry, we should cancel everything. And so that's how that began. I want to go to Thursday now because I went to see Bloodshot then on Thursday night at 5 o'clock, the first showing at my local theater. And I was one of 6. Now, 5 o'clock's a weird time for a movie, especially a movie like that, not a family film. But went to Bloodshot, was one of 5. Group of 3 in front of me down there, 2 older women towards the back, and me. It was 6 of us. And then earlier in the day, we had all gotten the news that A Quiet Place 2 got delayed from Paramount. The Lovebirds got delayed from Paramount. And Fast 9, Universal decided to move all the way to April 2021. Now, here's why I think they moved it to April 2021. It's because they had that slot set for Fast 10, but they're probably not going to film much of Fast 10, at least for the next couple of weeks. So maybe they sort of panicked and they said, okay, let's just move it to that date. Let's put it there now. Maybe we'll move it up, maybe still release it this year. But as of right now, let's move it all the way to April 2021. Well, before my showing of Bloodshot, because the news was just coming down, I literally saw the trailer for The Lovebirds, followed by an ad for The Quiet Place double feature, and then the trailer for Fast 9, back to back to back. I was stunned. I had to write it on Twitter. What a day. I watched Bloodshot, and then I turned on my phone after Bloodshot, and Disney pulled Mulan, New Mutants, and Antlers. Now, Mulan was supposed to come out next Friday, the 27th. New Mutants the following Friday, April 3rd. Antlers, a couple Fridays after that, through their Fox Searchlight, well, it's not Fox anymore, their Searchlight division, on April 17. All right, so 6 movies got delayed in one day. That is unheard of. March 12 will go down in history. Max from Quebec says, I won't be going to the theater for at least 2 weeks. A lot of people, me included, the next major release in a theater is going to be Trolls World Tour on April 10. Now, that could change at any moment. Obviously, a week and a half ago, when James Bond film No Time to Die decided to move out of its April 10 slot to November, Trolls, the folks at Universal, said, all right, let's move up a week to April 10. And then Peter Rabbit got delayed and all these other ones. So now Trolls becomes the first major movie to open in a theater next on April 10. There is nothing this weekend, there is nothing the next weekend, and there is nothing the weekend after that. When it comes to the history of the box office, when you look at it all, it's rare, but it's happened where there's a week where there are no new releases. Sometimes it's New Year's weekend, all the big movies come out for Christmas, and then New Year's weekend studios don't want to put anything out. It's much more rare to see it happen for 2 weekends. Sometimes maybe a film will come out, maybe it doesn't get in the top 10 or the top 5, but there'll still be one film. You're talking 3 weeks without a major wide release. That is unheard of. This box office report, also, by the way, the other new movie that came out this weekend, The Hunt, only $5.5 million for that flat-out bomb, which I predicted as well. But, I mean, you look at this box office, and it is very low. Imagine what's going to be like next weekend, the weekend after that, and the weekend after that, with no new releases. And then, if Trolls World Tour holds up on April 10, it's got to be the #1 movie, obviously. But then, where are all the others going to be? But at this point, with this entertainment shutdown, we're now starting to see movie theaters close. We're starting to see movie theaters close, and then half capacity. Regal, AMC, all their theaters nationwide are doing half capacity for each room through the end of April. So even if Trolls World Tour still comes out on April 10th, actually Thursday, April 9th, they'll do 5 p.m. shows. If that still happens, I'd expect Trolls to be on many of the screens at these multiplexes if they're still open, so they can accommodate everybody if they are able to go to the movies. It's all a big if right now. But the fact that Universal chose to move Fast 9 but keep Trolls their next release is an interesting strategy. I think they're just really going to wait and see what things are like in a couple of weeks. As we've seen with My Spy and A Quiet Place, you can pull a movie with 5 or 6 days to go. So my guess is that DreamWorks and Universal are going to wait until the last possible moment, which could be Thursday, April 2nd, Friday, April 3rd, maybe even Saturday, April 4th, to make a decision on where the world is, where our country is, and see what they're going to do about Trolls World Tour. That's really the situation we're in. I do have the Leprechaun here with me because it is St. Patrick's Day on Tuesday. Hopefully he's bringing you a little positivity and joy as we go through everything that's going on in the world of entertainment and the world in general right here on LCJ Live. Yeah, I heard My Spy's actually out in Canada and some other locations. UK maybe too. I heard My Spy's actually in those theaters, but not here in the United States quite yet. So we will see what happens. A lot of theaters have closed in Europe, Spain. A lot of places are in lockdown. Italy's still in lockdown. There's a lot going on right now. So when it comes to what I think of the new movies that are out, if you are into these faith-based kind of movies, you want to see I Still Believe, I say go now. It is a good film, great performances, moving story. Bloodshot, pretty bad. Aiza Gonzalez has a supporting role. I think she's the best thing in the movie. But this Vin Diesel action movie does not have a lot of life to it. Borrows a lot from Edge of Tomorrow, one of my favorite sci-fi action movies in recent years. So, over these last couple days, after Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson got tested positive for the coronavirus, And then they canceled March Madness, and they canceled the NBA, and they canceled NHL, and they kept canceling. And all these movies got canceled on Thursday. Then it turned into what movies and shows are filming now. And with the exception of the network morning shows and the nightly news, pretty much everything is shut down for the next 2 weeks. Every movie from every studio, every television sitcom, drama, pilot, you name it, reality show like The Bachelorette, you name it, it is probably on hiatus, postponed, canceled, however you want to word it, for at least the next 2 weeks. Live PD aired their last show last night. They got to do Friday and Saturday night. They are off for 2 weeks. At least. Everybody in the entertainment industry right now is saying, let's see if... Late night talk shows, by the way, too. All the daytime talk shows, the nighttime talk shows, all sidelined. Everybody's saying, let's wait till March 30. Let's give ourselves 2 weeks. Stay out of our close quarters with each other, and let's see if we can come back on Monday, March 30. If the entire entertainment industry comes back on Monday, March 30, I will be surprised. This thing's going to go on longer than 2 weeks. You know, we could all be on lockdown this time in 2 weeks, quarantine, all of that. You know, I think it's too fast. It's a tough call to say whether it was too early for all these movies and shows to shut down, because schools are closing, and a lot of stuff's going on. I don't know if it's too early for everybody to make these calls. Could they have gotten another week out of production of things? At this point, I'm not sure. Because again, while most of the states in our country have somebody, at least one person who has tested positive for the coronavirus, it just so happens that the central hubs happen to be in Hollywood and New York. It's just the way things are going and people being able to test for it. So I guess everybody has made the right call. I don't know if they could have gotten another week, but I predict that if we're back here in 2 weeks on LCJ Live, and we'll see where the world is, but I don't see everybody coming back to work on Monday, March 30. I really don't. Maybe some will. Again, it depends on where we all are, but I don't see this sort of, all right, we're in the clear, everybody. We're in the clear. We're back. ABC has announced today that Nightline is going back to its original time slot of 11:35 p.m., probably starting tomorrow. Because ABC said, you know, we're done with Jimmy Kimmel Live for at least 2 weeks. We're done for a while. And Nightline is going to be new every night, now at 11:35. I think it's a smart move. I think it'll do very well after the local news. And Nightline began, back in 1979, 40 years ago, because of the Iran hostage crisis. It was the ABC special news report go-to source for what was going on with the Iran hostage crisis from 79 to 80. And then it officially became Nightline, and it became this late-night staple from then on. About, 5, 6, 7 years ago, within the last 8 years, somewhere in that time frame, ABC decided, let's move Kimmel to 11:35, have him compete against, at that time, Leno and Letterman. Let's finally bring Kimmel up and move Nightline to 12:35. But now, for at least the next 2 weeks, if not next 2 months, Nightline is much more important. People are asking, hoping I stay safe. Thank you. I hope you stay safe as well. And this feels like a very important LCJ Live. Will you keep going? I'm going to keep going as long as I can. Absolutely. Because here's the thing. There are no movies in theaters, but there's a lot of streaming options. And I watched this movie yesterday called Stargirl that's on Disney+. It's fantastic. It's my favorite movie of the year so far. My 2 favorite movies of the year so far are streaming. One is Stargirl, and the other is the Taylor Swift documentary, Miss Americana. And probably my third favorite of the year, though I'd have to check the list, but one of them is the new Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, which is also on Netflix. My favorite films of the year are all streaming films. It's interesting where we are right now. Disney Plus debuted Stargirl on Friday. It's based on the 2000 Jerry Spinelli book about young love in high school, and you're probably thinking, oh, we've seen these coming-of-age movies many times before, but this one is very grounded. It's very well done, a lot of smart decisions, and 2 very good central lead performances from the young actors. I highly recommend Stargirl. I'll be doing a rapid review of it later this week. You can find it on my social media. But if you have Disney Plus, I do recommend Stargirl. If you have Netflix, check out Miss Americana. Check out the Shaun the Sheep movie. New season of Shaun the Sheep. Adventures from Mossy Bottom premieres Tuesday on Netflix. 20 new episodes. They're hilarious. I mean, Shaun the Sheep is so funny and great for the entire family. So please watch the new season of Shaun the Sheep. What Disney Plus also did, which was very smart, is load Frozen 2 on there early. They were going to wait another 3 months to load on Frozen 2, but they originally planned on it being today. They actually got it up by about 6 p.m. Eastern yesterday, so families could watch it last night and can watch it today. And I think that was a great decision by Disney Plus to do that. For all the subscribers who already have Disney Plus, and for those who will now get Disney Plus for films like Frozen 2 and Stargirl, which is great. In fact, I like all 5 of the Walt Disney Pictures films that have debuted on Disney Plus since its launch in November. Lady and the Tramp was great. Noelle, much better than I expected with Anna Kendrick. Holiday movie, but it's still good fun at any time of the year. Togo with Willem Dafoe. If you like Willem Dafoe, he's great in Togo. Action, drama, heart, warmth. Togo is good. Timmy Failure, mistakes were made. Some funny moments. It's my least favorite of the 5, but still good enough. A comedy that I think young adults can still get into as well as kids. And now we have Stargirl, which is my favorite of the 5. But again, I like all 5 of them. So if you're looking for things to watch, get Disney Plus, because the films are good. You know, they may be gearing more towards young kids when it comes to putting up a lot of their content and hesitant on some more adult things. But these original films, again, all Disney films that just happen to be on this service, are all good. I like them all. And I'm surprised about that at this point. Who knows if there could be a clunker coming up or something like that. But there is a nature documentary, Dolphin Reef, on the way, and some other things coming soon as well. So, yeah. DirecTV also did a free weekend of HBO and Cinemax this weekend. I don't know if it was planned or if it also came up suddenly because of the coronavirus situation. But they had Hobbs and Shaw on last night. Not a huge fan of Hobbs and Shaw, but if you missed it in the theater, I'm sure you probably watched it. We'll see how the numbers are for Hobbs and Shaw. Those viewership ratings will probably be released on Tuesday. All right. Well, Malik Money wants to know if Harrison Ford's going to win the Oscar for Call of the Wild. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I put on social media my predictions for the Academy Awards at this point. It's a little tongue-in-cheek. It's a little not. Because who knows where we're all going to be in several weeks and what's happening. But I put up my predictions for who would win at the Academy Awards, who would be on the acting ballot at this point. I think Ben Affleck gives the best performance of the year in The Way Back. So if I had to pick a best actor, at least my favorite right now, it's Ben Affleck. If you want to read the rest of my picks, check out my Twitter at LCJ Reviews. Now, as I look here for everything, and I just want to make sure we cover everything. So, the Back to You podcast. Weeks ago, I decided I'm going to do a Do It and Again marathon, which is tongue-in-cheek to the Back to You episode called Chuck and Kelly Doing It Again. I decided, all right, the 1-year anniversary of the podcast is Friday, April 3rd. I'll do a new episode, kind of summarize what's been happening in the year, and then in the days leading up to that, I'll post 1 episode a day for 18 days and then the new episode. So I picked this time frame starting this Monday, March 16. It is the Back to You podcast, Doing It Again marathon, 1 episode a day for 18 days, and then the new special episode on Friday, April 3rd. It just happens to be in this time frame. And Kelsey Grammer reuniting with Patricia Heaton on Carol's second act on Thursday was fantastic, and that will be discussed on the brand new episode coming April 3rd. But starting tomorrow, 1 a day. If you need a new podcast to binge, if you're stuck at home, quarantined, you need a new podcast, the Back to You podcast, Doing It Again marathon, 1 a day, starting tomorrow. Check out my social media for that. If you always want to listen to the LCJ Q&A podcast, you can do that as well. And the Too Fast, Two Films podcast. This week, Mike Sargent and I reviewed Bloodshot and The Dog Doc, a documentary about Marty Goldstein, a veterinary doctor who's done a lot for animals over the last several decades. So you can check that out as well at toofasttwofilms.com. All right, so if we're back here next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern on LCJ Live, which I hope we are, I really do, but it will be interesting to see what happens with the box office next weekend. Will all the theaters be closed by then? Will every theater in America be closed? What will be the updates on the entertainment shows and films because of the shutdown? It is a shutdown. It is it is worse than the writer's strike. The writer's strike was bad. This is worse. Based on the health situation and all that, and also that everything, TV, film, sports, all shut down. Everything. For at least 2 weeks, if not more. We'll see where things stand. What movies could get pulled or delayed? Will Trolls survive a week? I don't know. It's a tough call. Because if Trolls goes, you got a couple films on the 17th, including My Spy. You got a couple films on the 24th, Antebellum and Bad Trip. You do have a lot of streaming options between then, including Bad Education on HBO with Hugh Jackman, which I'm really looking forward to, and some Netflix movies and some other things going on. But then the next major movie is Black Widow on May 1. How long will Disney hold out on Black Widow? How long will the Cannes Film Festival hold out? They say they're not going to make the decision for a while. What other events will get delayed, pushed, shifted, canceled because of the coronavirus? And how healthy will everybody be? That is the big things. Where did I meet Mike Sargent? Mike is a good friend and colleague of mine from Rise on Screen Days in New York City and fellow member of the Critics' Choice Association. So I've known Mike for about 6 or 7 years now. He's a good guy. So where are we all going to be next week? Well, we'll have to see. Where's the entertainment industry going to be? We'll have to find out. This has been a very special edition of LCJ Live. I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Thank you for watching. For more, go to lights-camera-jackson.com. Follow me on Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson, Facebook Lights Camera Jackson, and Jackson Murphy pages, youtube.com/LightsCameraJackson. Stay safe, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you back here, hopefully, next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern for another LCJ Live. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching.